desire to say, let's make it tonight?
Happily surprised. We talked yesterday, Tage and I did, and he felt his conditioning is in a really good place. He wanted to feel a little battle this morning, and he knows his body well. He knows what it takes to perform, and wanted this morning to confirm it, and that's great news. In light of a lot of other challenging situations, that's a real plus for us to have him back in the lineup tonight under all of the circumstances you take into account.
With Luukkonen sick, is he definitely out, or do you have to call him?
He's definitely out. So you saw Levi is being recalled. I don't know if that actually happened yet, but that is. And we will have some other roster moves with injuries. On the injury list, obviously Quinn Gergenson's obvious, but Tuch and Greenway, as we've found more out over the last 24 hours, more this morning, and talked to medical and doctors, we will have some roster adjustments coming with that. What am I missing? Darlene should be fine. We expect him fine for the game tonight, even though he left the skate early this morning.
So is Comrie going to play or Levi?
And Comrie would be the guy tonight with Levi in.
What is the update you have on Jordan and Alex?
The update on them is I think I said it's about a week to 10 days, and it could resolve. Things that they have should resolve in that time, and that is still the current update and current hope. So, with the ailments, injuries they're dealing with, they're two different injuries, but both of them fall right in that window. And I don't expect either of them to be longer than that, although one of them is going to have something that'll nag them for quite a bit after that, I believe, but they should be able to play.
Could Tage play center if you wanted him to, or is it better to integrate him on the wing first?
Well, obviously Tuch leaving the lineup opens that slot, and it's an easy one to fill that. So filling that is probably the simplest and easiest thing. I'm sure if we needed him to play center, that would be no issue with. Might be a little bit of a challenge, but he would do it, could do it, obviously because he's been cleared. But he'll be on the wing.
Is there any concern for Darlene? I know that was like just a very quick thing today, but is there any concern?
Anytime a guy leaves a morning skate, there's concern. But in this case, I wasn't overly concerned, to be honest with you. There's been some nagging, and it's just part of the grind of the season. And I figured it was as much, and it seems like that's the case. So better to be ready for tonight than any aggravation that's
Thompson,
unneeded.
obviously, talent-wise, we know what he brings, but you guys have been grinding through so much here in recent games. Just how important is it from a mental standpoint for your club in that room to get him back and kind of get a different dynamic going here?
Very important. He is a very, very competitive guy, as we all know. Has never really, before he became the Tage Thompson everybody knows now, kind of the household name, there was about 4 or 5 years of complete grinding, complete facing adversity and challenge and doubt. And he battled through all of that, with a very strong will and conviction. And we're in a situation now where we need a strong will and conviction. And he's a guy that's walked the walk. And as we go through this experience, for some and many a first time of such a grind, that will and conviction and turning within yourself is really, really important. And obviously he's a guy that has exemplified that and the success that then follows that. And I think that is that's ties in very much to where our group is at, where our team is at.
We've talked a lot about chasing games recently, but in the last 3, it really hasn't been the issue. You've started okay. The issue's become giving up those 2 quick goals in spurts. How do you, when you give up a goal, how do you make sure this club stays with it and doesn't turn into 2 goals like it's done now.
Well, you're absolutely right, Mike. You have to, and to resolve it, first of all, you have to recognize that you identified with, you give up a goal, and then you didn't elevate and recompete immediately. You let that goal bother you, and it manifests, and it manifests in just letting your guard down, maybe feeling, lack of a better way to describe it, maybe you feel sorry for yourself before you collect yourself. And back to what we just said about Thompson, the perseverance, the conviction, the whatever, through his early part of his career, facing doubt, facing challenge. You give up one goal, I think, and see our guys feel a little bit of doubt when this is an ultra-competitive league. This is pro sports. And you have a moment of lapse of doubt. The offset between you and the other team is that they're looking for that. They're teams can take advantage. That's what teams take advantage of. And we've had that, and it's there in that situation where you give up one and you give up a second one soon after. You mentioned the starts. It's a challenge. You give up the first goal. So do you switch mindset, or do you take the mindset of, okay, we have to defend and not give up the first goal? Well, at some point, you're going to give up the first goal if you don't focus on scoring the first goal too. So it kind of goes back and forth. For us, we are creating scoring chances that we're not scoring on, and so it could have gone other ways. It obviously did not, but it can't hurt the confidence after it happens.